Hey, what's going on, man? It's been a while. A lot has happened. Different background. I moved. I didn't forget about y'all. I didn't. I just, I had things going on. I'm doing what I can. But anyway, so I'm back at it. In today's video, I was a little torn about which one to give y'all. Like, typically when it's military stuff, I'll be in my uniform. And when it's civilian stuff, I'll be in civilian gear. Obviously, I chose civilian, but it's a military benefit, but I want to discuss it from like the civilian side. So maybe you're thinking about joining the reserves or the guard and you're worried about your civilian job. Valid concern. The guard and the reserves are not going to be enough to sustain. It's a couple $100 a month. Nobody's living off of that as like a sole source of income. You're just not. Now, with that being said, it's a known thing. It's a known issue. So they made a law. It's called USERRA. I probably looked up when, but y'all don't care. And USERRA basically is a federal law that protects your civilian job when you're doing military duty. So if you get called up, if you got to deploy, if you got to go TDY, if you're sent on assignment and you got to be away from home for an extended period of time, USERRA essentially means that you won't lose your job. Like, they can't say, oh, we're going off to defend the country, screw you, you're fired. Like,
you're fired. Get the hell out of here. Go on, pack your shit up and get out of here.
That's not something they can do. So when thinking about USERRA, in my opinion, again, I cannot emphasize that. I'm not a lawyer. If you're getting your law advice from a dude on YouTube with like no followers who, I don't even know if anybody's going to watch this, you're just not going to hold up in court. You're already in a bad place. But I'm not a lawyer. But in my opinion, when I look over USERRA and like when I read through it, the spirit of the law is essentially so that you can serve and not be worried about your civilian job. Like that's what they were trying to convey. It's like, hey, listen, if somebody's serving in the military, you can't hold that against them. And it even says in one of the parts, like I have on the website, it also says that you are not discriminated against by employers because of past, present, or future military service. Which you would think is like a guarantee, but it's not a guarantee. So that's why the law is there. And so you're like, all right, well, great. My job's protected. I'm good. I can't be discriminated. Sign me up.
I don't think so.
Yes and no. So USERRA will prevent you from being outright fired and being discriminated against. However, it has been my experience and the experience of individuals who, my contemporaries, be they, above me, below me, whatever, that if you serve more than what the commercial says, like the 1 week in a month or 2 weeks a year, it is more likely than not, it will have a negative impact upon your civilian career. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't blame me. I'm just telling you what I know so that you can have an educated view. So I'm trying to let you learn from some of the things that I've had to figure out the hard way and some of the people that I know have figured out the hard way. So again, I want to be clear, my own personal opinion, not representative of anyone or any other organization or anything of the sort, is that the spirit of the law is that you can serve and it not be held against you and you not be worried about your civilian. Like, the spirit of the law is we want people to be able to be in the military and not worry about it home. Like, if we're going to tell you that you do this thing like part-time or like 1 week in a month or whatever, we want you to not rest easy that when you come home from the other side of the planet or wherever it was that you were deployed to, that you still have a civilian job. Like, that's the spirit of the law, and that makes sense. However, like most laws, it's written in such a way that employers can still kind of get around it. So like one of the main things is that, so like you have your job and it says you're supposed to come back to the same pay, the same, like the pay salary or the same position. Like, it should be like you never left. Like, I've spoken to different people who deal with this day in and day out, and it's like, when you come back, it should be like you never left. So if everyone in your department got a promotion, you're supposed to get the same promotion. If everybody gets a pay raise, you get the same pay raise. It should be like you were there the whole time. You shouldn't miss a step. Like, if you leave, when you come back, you should just be able to fall right back into where you were. Oftentimes, I don't even say all the time, that's not always what happens.
Not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
So let's say, I'm gonna give you an example of what the law says and what may actually play out. So I don't know about you, but me personally, anytime I've had a job, whenever I was up for promotion or progressing, I'm typically doing the job before I get the pay and the title. So like, let me use a generic example. Let's say you work at McDonald's and you the fry guy and you the fry guy, you hold it down. But there's a team lead position open. The manager hasn't hired a team lead, so you fill that role. You're now acting as a team lead. You're doing all the team lead stuff. You just don't have the title and you don't have the pay. But essentially, you're right. Manager's like, listen, once things straighten out and I get the approvals, you're the guy or gal. I got you. Cool. You get a call from your unit, your command, your base, whatever. Hey, X, Y, and Z, you got to go this, you're going to be gone. So you went from being, in that position, in that role, just waiting for the paperwork and everything so that you can have it, to now you got to go somewhere for 6, 9, 12, 18 months. You come back. Per the law, you still got the same job, same pay. So you still the fry guy, you still chefing it up at your pay. But when you come back, now there's a new team lead who wasn't there when you left. So you go to the manager, hey, I thought I was going to be the guy. They're like, well, you left, so we had to give it to someone else. Now you still have your job, and you still have your pay, but effectively, you're now back at square one. You're not technically demoted, but you're not where you were, which, if you can kind of, my neighbor is doing construction, if you kind of pick up what I'm putting down, you're not demoted, because the law says they can't demote you, but you're not where you were. So now when you come back, it's like you're not, all that progress you made, that time you put in, working hard to get ahead, to distinguish yourself, it's all for naught. Now you're just a regular fry guy. Or another scenario, you come back and that manager's gone. Now there's a new manager. They don't know who you are. So you're just a fry guy. You got to prove yourself all over again to his new face, because they don't know you. They didn't work with you. So all that work you put in doesn't matter. Or, this is something that actually happened to somebody. You leave and come back, and they're like, oh, we thought you quit. You were no call, no show. After a week, we got rid of you. Now, I know someone that happened to, and fortunately, for this person, they had paperwork, and the company was like, all right, we'll bring you back on. We realized it was a mistake. It's on our end. No questions asked. We'll bring you right in. And they resolved it. But what I'm saying is the law protects you, but it doesn't protect you. Companies do the bare minimum. And to be clear, I understand from their point of view as well that you were gone, and I still had to fill that gap and I had to fill that role. Now, when you come back, sure, I'll keep a job for you, but I'm not putting you where you were, because you were gone for 6, 9, 12 months or whatever it is. There are things to protect you, but there are things you're made aware of. And to be clear, this isn't just a McDonald's guy. I've spoken to people who have been in every tier of their career, whether they're individual contributors, whether they're managers at all different levels. When you leave, whatever progress you made probably is
fairy dust. It doesn't exist.
It's kaput. And the longer you're gone, the further back you are. What I've seen is that the longer you're out, whatever the time is, that's how far back you were. So if you're out for 6 months, when you get back, you're 6 months behind where you were. If you're out for a year, you're a year behind where you were. Typically, that's how it works. So not every video is going to be sunshine, rainbows, lollipops, and gumdrops and happy things, but these are things you need to be aware of. It happens in the real world. So with that being said, plan accordingly. If you know that you may be leaving or you're in the military, everything you do at your job, you need to document. Everything. If it's a promotion, if it's an attaboy, if it's a good review, everything needs to be documented. If you're the fry guy, you're filling in for a team lead, your manager needs to document, hey, currently filling in for a team lead position, recommended for, team lead upon, when appropriate or when available. So it's when you come back and say, no, I was the guy. This person said I was the guy. So that's what I want to come back to. Not guaranteed, but it'll help. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
Take your goddamn knife, all right?
This video is brought to you by nobody. I don't have enough subscribers. No one's paying me to make these videos. I make them because hopefully they're helpful to someone. And I mean, that's it, man. I'm trying not to be too long in the tooth, but long in the tooth, that's not the phrase. Long-winded. But anyway, y'all have a great day. Like, comment, subscribe. If you got questions, comments, concerns, hit me up in the comments and I'll start responding to them. I know I've been lax for a minute, but I'm going to get back to that. And yeah, man, y'all take it easy.